Hello, my name is Darren Thomas, and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to have a brief introduction to natural language processing with Python, along with some visualization using a word cloud. So let's go ahead and see what we can learn. So I'm obviously inside Python, and we're going to take some text, some data that we were able to find on the internet, and we are going to analyze this text. Basically, we're going to strip away things we don't need, like stop words and punctuation, and we're going to make a word cloud of the most commonly found words. So in this first cell right here, you can see the various packages or modules or libraries we're going to be using. We're going to be using pandas. RE is going to be regular expressions. That's what we use for dealing with the text. NLTK is, of course, a tool for importing our stop words. That's what we're going to be doing there in lines 3 and 4. Probably could combine those. Line number 5, we're going to be, of course, installing our word cloud, matplotlib for making our visualization. And lastly, but not least, we're going to use CSV for uploading our actual data set. So let's go ahead and move to obtaining the data, if you will. And so what you have to do here is we have to use something called pathlib, import path. I forgot to put that at the top. And so that's going to help us to load our data set. And so you can see the path right here, and we're going to display it using line 3. So press Control Enter. Oops, I got to run the first one first. Sorry about that. Now this will work. There we go. Okay, so here's our data set. We're really focusing on this column called review text. We're going to be cleaning that up and trying to find out what the common terms are there. But these are some reviews of what people thought about some women's clothing. And again, there's a lot of things we're not going to look at, like division name, department name. We don't care about that. We're only focused really on this column review text. So let's go ahead and keep moving. Okay, so now we're going to take a quick peek at just one comment to just get an idea here. Of course, you will probably do a much more thorough exploratory analysis than what we're doing right here, but for the sake of time. So this is one quote. Absolutely wonderful, silky and sexy and comfortable. It kind of runs off there off to the side, but trust me, it's all there. So now we're going to do some language processing. Some very basic things we're going to do here. So we're going to make everything lowercase, and then also we're going to remove the punctuation. And so let me show you the code for that right now. So in line number 1, what we're doing is we're overwriting review text with the stuff to the right of the equal sign. So this stuff right here is going to replace what was already inside this particular column. And so this first command here is going to make everything lowercase because we don't want duplicate data. So capital C and lowercase c, cat, it's the same word. So we want to simplify it by lowering the case. In line number 2, again, we're going to be replacing what's already inside our column review text. And what's happening here is we're going to replace the punctuation with a space. So all this stuff, this R, and then all this stuff inside these single quotes for the most part, this is all stuff that's going to be potentially replaced. And it's going to be replaced with the stuff after the comma. I know that's really hard to see, but trust me, there is a comma there. There is a comma there that you can clearly see if you have really good eyes. And we're going to replace it by putting a space. That's why there's a space there. I hope you can see that. So now that we're going to run this, and then we're going to take another look at our data again. And then we got to do a comparison so you can understand. So you can see we have the same words here for the most part, but look closely. Absolutely now has a lowercase a compared to last time. Also, if you look at the next line, love is going to have a lowercase l. So you can see how things have changed, and all the i's are now lowercase. All right, now for punctuation, you can see here that we have a dash right here. I know that's really hard to see. We have an exclamation point here in line number 1. And you can see, if you got really good eyes, that this stuff is no longer in our text here. So we've cleaned it up a little bit, but we're not quite done. There's a few more things we need to do. And so one of these things is that you got to download some stuff from NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit, I believe is what it's called. And so when you run this, it takes a few seconds, and you're going to see a little GUI. Now, you probably can't see it on my particular screen right now, because I'm only recording this one screen. But basically, you just want to download and install everything. That's the simplest way to do it. You'll have to try to figure this out on your own a little bit to understand what's going on. So for now, you just have to kind of trust me on this one. But what we really want, what we really want from this NOTK download underscore GUI is the stop words. Stop words are things that they help the flow and comprehension of a sentence, but they're not the heart of it. So generally, in most languages, the subject, verb, and object, that's what the whole sentence is all about. But those little words like the, it, they, those are words that help with meaning. They help you to figure out who you're talking to, as an example, like they or them. They help to specify, the context or whatever, but the sentence can still make some sense without it, in other words. And so what we want to do now is that we don't want to map, or we don't want to track the stop words because they don't have any meaning. Verbs, subjects, and objects have a lot more meaning than just it, they, a, I, etc. So we're going to try to remove those. And so to do that, we just have to go here, and I will show you in a second how we do this. Okay. All right. So we're going to make a stop word list. And so it's going to come from stopwords.words, and this information is not available because we downloaded this information from NOTK. That's what's happening here. And so we're going to do that first. And then also for the second one, we're going to add the word to. I guess the word to is not always a part of the stop word, so we just added one. And of course, you can continue to add more and more stop words as you so desire. It's up to you. Now we're getting close to the end here. We haven't touched our text in a while. What we've done so far is we've downloaded the NOTK information that we needed. We created some stop words, and now we need to set up a pattern of information that we want to keep out of our final analysis. So this PAT is an object, it's short for pattern. And basically we're going to use these regularized expressions here to try to look for a pattern. Okay, so if it happens on one side, we want to make sure it's removed. Let me just read this to you. So Python will look for any words whose pattern on the left is the same as the pattern on the right. So we're talking about when we set up our two, we're going to set up two different data frames, if you will. Okay, and so what's going to happen is that it's going to look for stop words. This is our list of information we're looking for. If we find these things over here, then we're going to remove them. That's what's going to happen. So this is what we're doing basically. So we're going to go ahead and run this real quick. Again, this will make more sense when you see it. And what I'll do here is I'll just make a quick insert cell below, so you can see what the pattern looks like. You can see it's really big. Might take a while for it to display. It's still thinking. While this is thinking, we're going to keep going here. Now, below we implement our pat object. So here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to go ahead and get these two guys going right here. And what's going to happen now is that we're creating a new data frame called split text. Oh, I'm sorry, we're inserting a new column. Let me slow down. We're making a new column called split text. And what's going to happen here is that we're going to take the information in review text and we're going to replace anything that's in the pattern with no space here. So let's go ahead and run that. Hopefully this will work. I don't know why it's so slow right now. Okay, I know what the problem is. Let me close this. Okay, here we go. So here are the different patterns. These are the words that we're going to look for to remove right here. So our, ours, ourselves, you, your, etc., should have, some, again, further. You can see all those right here. They're all right there. And so now that we've done that, you can see a lot of words have disappeared. Like, remember, there were some I's here off to the left. If you remember, they're gone now. The word it is gone as well. And so we just have here, we have adverbs, obviously. We have adjectives. That's what's left after all these things have been done. Some verbs, work is normally considered a verb. Wanted is often a verb. So those are the things that are left. Okay, now this is where it gets really complicated. And what we're going to do here is we're going to make our actual word cloud. So this is going to be, quite the experience. I really don't have time to explain everything, but we're going to use the word cloud function, obviously, or, function. And you can see right here, we describe how big we want it to be. And then over here, we start generate. and we're mapping it from split text because split text is the nice and clean thing with all the stop words gone, etc. All right, and so of course we got to join and map it and everything. And then of course on line 2, we talk about how big we want the figure to be. Then we do matplot or plot.imshow to display it, and then we turn off the axes. So take a look at this. Let's see if it works. It's thinking right now. And once this is set up, you can see this is it right here. So I'm sure you're familiar with the word cloud. The bigger the word, the more important it is. So top, dress, one, love, look, those are the more important words. Smaller words are not as important: buy, maybe, felt, give, etc. This is our word cloud. You see these on the internet all the time. They're lots of fun. And it's just another great way of, displaying or visualizing language data. So we're going to try to summarize what we talked about and conclude this video. So in this video, this is what we did. We took some text from the internet that we found, and we did some natural language processing of the words, if you will. So we lowercased everything. We stripped out the punctuation. We removed the stop words. And after we got done processing all this information, we made this word cloud that you can see right here. So this is just another way to get insights into data, to try to, for making decisions or just for making visuals, for your website or whatever, or for your company, to try to give you an idea of things that people are talking about and focusing on. And it's another useful tool. So I want to thank you for watching. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Thank you for watching again, and you guys take care.